Hi everyone, so today I'll be discussing an advertisement that is largely based on the thin ideal and the groups that it can affect, as well as the types of effects that it can have on these groups. So just an overview, I'll be introducing an advertisement by the Snack Factory, discussing the groups that can be affected by this advertisement, and the effects, which are thin idealization, body image, dieting culture, eating disorders, and mental health. So this is an advertisement by the Snack Factory that was posted in New York City. This campaign was put out in 2010, where the company wanted to appeal to the unique thinness of their product. But what I will be focusing on is their slogan that they chose to pair with this advertisement, which was "You can never be too thin." So the groups of this advertisement can affect are men, women, and adolescents, especially because there is no actual photo of a person in the ad. So it was really left up to the general public to perceive this advertisement and internalize it and relate the information to themselves and their own bodies. The first effect it can have among these groups is thin idealization. So thin idealization is a concept that a thin body is more preferred or ideal among society, and also the extent to which an individual associates themselves with the ideal. So first, among women, their body ideal has become more thin with a slim waist and very little visible body fat. And thinness is also associated with attractiveness among women. We've previously learned that models weigh about 23% less than the average woman, so this really just shows that the image that we're putting out there is actually much thinner than the average population. And among men, their body ideal is also thin, but still remaining muscular and tall. And this has kind of created a double standard because men have also been increased to valuing themselves when they're more muscular and thin. And adolescents have also been affected. This age group is about 10 to 19 years old. And exposing adolescents to thin ideals, especially in the media through advertisements like this, it pressures them to be thin, and they're more likely to internalize these messages because they're during their more formative and developmental years. So another effect that this advertisement can have among these groups is on body image. And especially now in the social media age, researchers predict that the media holds a large role in body dissatisfaction. And when it came to this advertisement, it did not take long at all for people to begin to associate the advertisement and its message with their own body. And this really just shows the power that their statement, "You can never be too thin," can hold, because it negatively affects our view of the body by saying that you can never be too thin and really holding the standard of the body to being extremely thin. And it implies that there's no limit on thinness. So this would mean that being underweight is something that is still idealized. And then it also creates an unachievable body standard among these groups. And people that experience body dissatisfaction, so among women it is 20 to 40%, among men about 10 to 30%, and then in adolescents about 24 to 46% of girls and 12 to 16% of boys experience body dissatisfaction. So this advertisement can also have an effect among these groups from dieting culture. So this message that this advertisement portrays can lead these groups to turn to dieting to achieve their thinness. And this advertisement promotes dieting based on the appearance of thinness. So research has found that appearance-based dieting, which would be dieting with the goal of becoming thinner, is more harmful than dieting from a health-based point of view, which would be using a diet to make you feel healthier. And also the brain of this product creates a false image that their products can attain health, especially because they pair it with the message that you can never be too thin, along with their product that is unique because of it being thin, it can kind of lead people to think that they can achieve health by consuming this because their product is thinner and smaller compared to other brands. And this also focuses dieting on restriction. And dieting now is still something that focuses on restricting what you eat and heavy exercise. And then about 17% of Americans reported that they're dieting as of 2020. Another effect among these groups that can stem from advertisements like this are eating disorders. So this ad promotes a dangerous slogan by saying you can never be too thin, because this puts the public under the impression that there is no limit to thinness. And by doing this, it disregards the harmful effects that being underweight can cause. And it was actually found that this was a popular slogan that was derived from pro-anorexia and bulimic communities that were circulating the internet among this time. Eating disorders is also a fatal mental illness, and this advertisement can make light of it by saying that you can never be too thin. And the statistics of eating disorders. So about 30 million people in the US have an eating disorder, and about 95% of them are 12 to 25 years old. So this is among the late adolescent group and early adulthood. And eating disorders have the highest risk of death over any other mental illness, particularly because of the harmful effects that being underweight can cause and being malnourished. And a large contributing factor is environment. There are other contributing factors to eating disorders, but particularly it's known that social environment is a large factor in leading to an eating disorder, especially because of what we're exposed now to today with social media. The last effect that this can have among these groups is on mental health. So this advertisement directly outraged the public, and it faced a lot of backlash because a lot of people found it to be offensive and triggering, especially people who were struggling with negative body image or eating disorders. And it was so controversial that this advertisement was criticized in many blogs and news sites, and it eventually led to the company withdrawing their campaign and releasing statements to try to cover up the damage that they had caused because of their slogan. And the media has also been associated with low self-esteem, depression, and other psychiatric conditions at that time in 2010. Based on research, and especially among adolescents, because they're during their formative years and growing up with easy access to social media and coming across advertisements like this out in public can cause negative effects among this group. And these are my references, and that concludes my presentation. Thank you.